Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Ahead, Ken Heuning with CoverSeal Car Covers.
Right.
Later, Jeff has this week's Motor Minute, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. IT genius David Ainsley is in the UP of Michigan.
Don't go that far.
And I'm Don Armstrong. I'm nothing, but thank you for being with us anyway. Can't help myself, you know. Yeah. Giving out titles, got to give him credit.
I was talking about David's.
That's what I was talking
about. Genius,
yeah. All right. So I have to tell you the story of the car cover. So
okay,
we were taking up what was at one time the garage of the house that live in. This is now our studio. So the Corvette would typically be inside. Well, I've been here now for 6 years, and it's been outside the entire time. So I've had to resort to car covers.
And you've been to a few.
And I've had two up to this point. Mm-hmm. And the first one wasn't worth a hoot. The second one actually was pretty good. And of course, you know, I've got tree branches that sometimes fall down on it and put a nick in it and that sort of stuff. And the biggest problem with the last one was the fact that it's got this elastic trim on it, kind of like your Sansa-belt pants, Mars.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And so it's got elastic trim on it and you know, holds your pants up. Well, this kind of holds the bottom edge of the car cover around the Corvette. Up until about a year ago, it worked fine. Now, it's only a couple of years old. Well, I guess the elastic, like your belly, Mars, is kind of swelled up and it's gotten kind of loose, okay? And now, if we get a strong wind, wind will get up underneath this thing and it'll blow it right off in the middle of a rainstorm, right? And I'm out there going, okay, well, I can't put it on this way, so I just have to wait till it's all over with. The car's covered with everything, you know, all the leaves, all the rain, all the ugly stuff that I try to keep off of it. Well, we were approached by this company called CoverSeal Car Covers, and it's a different kind of car cover. Okay, I'll give that a shot. And I did. And, you know, like anything different at my age, it's like, I don't like this. Well, I didn't say that about this. I've given it now about a month. And I have to tell you that it is working just fine, and it's very different. And it seems as though we have the head of the company, Ken Heuning, with CoverSeal Car Covers on the line with us. Hey, Ken, good morning, and thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Well, we appreciate it, and I hope you got to hear the lead-in to to your stuff. And you know what I'm talking about, since this is your company. You've developed a car cover that's different than Mr. Mars' Sansa-belt pants with the elastic strip around the bottom of it.
Sure.
And so I will tell you that we've had a couple of storms blow through, and my God, this car cover didn't blow off. It's truly amazing.
It's designed
so
to stay on.
I'm going to let you explain to everybody exactly what it is that makes it different.
Well, thanks for the lead-in. That was really gracious of you. Myself, an avid car collector, I just took out my C1 Corvette this morning, and
nice.
Yeah, it's really fun. I developed these car covers not because I wanted to get into the car cover business, but because, like most people with their classic cars, they sit in the garages for a good period of time, a lot of times in the winter. And I found rodents in my cars. I had my i8 got eaten by twice by rodents to the tune of about $25,000 in damage.
Oh my God, yes.
They got the wiring harnesses, and so I was looking for a way to keep the rodents out. And I tried the traps, the Irish Spring flakes, the cat pee spray, the noisemakers. There's a couple other solutions out there, but they're really cumbersome to get in and out of, so I never really took my car in and out of them. You know, some of these zipper bags that you can get in with the cars.
Yep.
So I got to thinking, and I'm an electrical engineer. I didn't know anything about textiles and such. And so I started thinking, and by the way, I've learned a lot about textiles in the last couple of years. So we created CoverSeal, which has got the weighted bottom, which is also waterproof, so having the fabric sit on the ground doesn't rot. And what the weighted bottom does is it has about 3 really good features to it. The first that you've described is that it doesn't blow off because the wind can't get underneath the cover and parachute it. So you don't need the cups that go on the side to hold on to the mirrors. It also keeps rodents out. So the rodents don't want to stay around. They know they're on the menu. So they stop, look, smell, go. Stop, look, smell, go. And you can see them just moving around. We don't provide an ingress path for them to be able to get under the car and sit into the little nooks and crannies. My i8 has been out where it was eaten twice for the last 4 years with nary a nibble. And but there's nothing more disappointing. You're going to go to a car show and you see rodent poop or pee spray kind of on your car, and you kind of know that they're there, right?
Yes.
The third thing that it does is that because it's sealed to the ground, it doesn't let dust in. So a buddy of mine had his Porsche that he had detailed, went overseas for about 4 months, came back, was expecting to have to detail the car, et cetera, like he's used to. Well, he pulls it off and there's no dust on it. The car is just like where he left it. And when you have a leaf blower going around in your neighborhood, or your landscapers are doing it, it blows dust underneath the cover, which then settles back on the car.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. So those are the kind of the 4 benefits. I love cars. I think they're art on wheels, and that's what we developed, and we've been. It's something different.
Well, it's for lack of a better term, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just call it a weighted car cover. So it's got weights in it. I thought, and I didn't know what to expect when I opened the box, and I thought, my God, this thing weighs 1 jillion pounds. Not too much, not so much that I can't get it off or maneuver it around, but it's twice as heavy at least
it's heavier than
any of the other car covers.
Yeah.
And so that once I pull it out, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, it's got weights in the bottom of it. Long tubular weights that are sewn into the bottom fabric, which is a different color than the rest of the car. Mm-hmm. And it works. And I'm thinking, I like this. I took the car cover off after 2 weeks sitting out there, and I'm going to be your best salesman here. I was shocked and surprised because with the other car covers, you're exactly right. It blows up all of the dust, and then it settles, and then we have a rain, and the rain gets there, and that's might as well just take it out and drive it down a dirt road.
I know.
And I don't have that issue anymore. It's absolutely fabulous. I love it.
It's worked out pretty good. There's a lot of sort of retraining that we have to do of the populace because our car covers are made to sit on the ground, which is kind of interesting. So when it's heavy, what you do is you roll it out next to the car, and then you just pick up half of it and put a part of it on the hood, a part of it on the roof, a part of it on the trunk. And unlike different covers, you remember how you have to do that race where you put it on the hood and they have to run around to the back side of it?
Yeah.
And then it flies off, and then you're doing, well, ours doesn't. So then you go around the other side because it's still there, and you pull the edge and you pull it over to the car, and then the weight drops it to the ground. So it turns out if you do it that way, it's one of the easiest car covers to deploy.
Well, not only that, but it also encases the side view mirrors on it and any other accoutrement that you've put on there. And even the wheels don't get dirty like they used to.
Well, that's what he was saying, the dusting.
Exactly.
And the thing that Don mentioned, and it triggered me, where he said it's like a weighted blanket. Now, people use weighted blankets for comfort in their home.
Yeah.
They use weighted things, comforters, blankets, as a protection. That's basically what this is. Now, we've got your website up on our computer here, and while you're talking, I'm going to plug you in and go through that while you're talking. Go ahead.
Okay.
So at any rate, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought, well, they've sent me the wrong size. That was the first thing that came to mind. I'm thinking, well, this doesn't fit. And yes, it does, because the label on the outside of the box said C5 Corvette. But it's made to lay on the ground where the weights are. And it kind of took me back because you're not used to that.
No. And, one of the things that I wrestled with when I was developing these things is the fitted cover. And I've had problems two different ways. There is a type of Kimberly-Clark fabric that degrades over time and leaves that huge dust layer as it's decomposing. So we made ours deliberately loose fitting, and the reason why is because they blow in the wind. And when it does that, those dust and debris and things that turn into big algae pools on your car blow off. So it's kind of a self-cleaning methodology by allowing a loose fit onto the car, and it also helps prevent mold and mildew that comes in because you're not keeping the moisture directly on the paint, which also prevents oxidation. And we used to have those car bras, remember back in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
We would have on our trucks.
Yeah.
I left mine in out when it was raining, and I ended up getting my paint oxidized because the waterproof, and there's waterproof car covers out there, but the waterproof trapped the moisture between the car cover and the car and it oxidized the paint, and that was a bad thing.
Yeah, well, I also noticed that there are a couple of vents. They're covered vents up there on the windows, so the rain rolls off because the vent portion of it is actually from the bottom side of the vent. Yeah, and that works well.
Yes, that was another addition. So I've been evolving these things. We started out with different fabric choices. Like I said, I learned a lot about fabrics, polyesters, acrylics, rayons, and nylons. Polyester is the best out there. It lasts the longest. It's got great sun durability. The reason for the silver and the black is a PVC impregnated 600 denier fabric. I mean, I won't say it's like Kevlar, but it's really strong. It's like what's in backpacks and tennis shoes and such.
Right.
The top is a softer DWR 420D polyester. And what you notice is that little football pattern.
Yes.
That's a ripstop pattern. So if you ever poke a hole in it, people do. They snag it on stuff. I do. I mean, I use them. They're all over my cars. And it won't propagate a rip through the cover. So you can seal up the hole then with, a good piece of Gorilla duct tape or something similar if need be. But it's meant to kind of create durability and protection for your outdoor asset, with car, patio, barbecue, truck, SUV.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you that, like I said before, that I was kind of like, do I like this? I didn't naysay it right out of the box. And once I got it on there and understood all of the stuff that goes on with the weight that lays on the ground, the material, the ease of it getting on and off of the car, it all just works for me. Now, granted, it is not one of those Mr. Mars, Sansa-belt type things. But that's clearly what most of the market is when it comes to car covers.
Well,
and that's not to put them down. I mean, all I'm saying is there's a time and a place for everything. This car cover works for me.
Well, and I like the way that it does look a little bigger, a little looser fitting, if you will. But, if you've got one of those form-fitted ones and you lower the car a little bit, maybe shorter tires or do anything like that, there's no compensation for it. This, to me, looks like it's got some compensation to it going up or down a little bit. You still got a very usable, functional cover.
Now, Patrick, tell me if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because what I've learned is that if I have the bottoms out, spread out away from the car, but the weight's out there, it'll collect. I'm sorry, did I say a wrong name? It's Ken. I'm sorry. That the weight will hold the water, right? So what I did was I just kicked them underneath. Is that something that you do?
Sometimes, what's kind of funny is by letting the water pool on there, you get even a better seal.
Yeah,
So
yeah, clearly.
That's true.
when it ends up blowing in the wind, it eventually sheds that water. But that's 600 denier PVC impregnated fabric. And so that water's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there and pool. We think it's like dangerous, but it actually does a nice job sealing everything out.
Where do you live, Ken?
Well, I split my time between Northern California and Los Gatos, and I'm sitting in my house right now in Clemens. It's an old rental, it's a 100-year-old house that I'm restoring. It's kind of fun. I like projects.
Well, so here in Houston, Texas, we have 100% humidity and rain. It's kind of like living in the rainforest, and we have a thing called mosquitoes here. And so if I let that water stay down there, it's a mosquito breeding thing. So I found out that I just kick it underneath the car, and it works just fine. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
I should tell you about one of our new deployments that we're having. So this hail issue has become prominent. And one of the things, because we seal to the ground, we're having the ability to integrate a fan, a 600 CFM fan in the apron. And so you can take it on and off with a little Velcro seal. That'll blow up the car cover and turn it into an airbag for your car.
Cool.
An air cushion.
I know.
It's sealed to the ground. So the amount of air that escapes from underneath is not sufficient to keep it from deflating. So I took a big rock that was about the size of a baseball, and admittedly I did it without a car under the cover first. I wasn't that confident.
Right.
Threw it at the thing, boom. It dissipated. It maybe penetrated about a half inch, but the cover is all blown up looking like, a hot dog. And then I did it with a car and tried to measure any impact force onto the car. None. So it's one of those things that we're looking to deploy, and that gives us an opportunity to innovate. So what we've done in over covers that have been out there for 30 years is we've innovated. Think of what innovation have you seen in car covers?
You know what's going to happen, don't you? All of those car companies are going to go, oh, he's got something there. We're going to offer this as our premium car cover now. They're going to steal it.
Well, they have to get by the patents.
So, good for you.
We've got 2 patents on them. They just got awarded. And so that's going to be kind of interesting if they attempt, Yeah.
So where do we send our viewers, our listeners, to get more information on this? Because you got to see the thing really in operation.
Oh, sure. There's some great videos. Melissa Croland, who's my CMO, she ended up posting a number of them. And by the way, she's a petite woman, so she can put on these truck covers, which weighs somewhere around 50 some pounds.
Right.
And, because they roll them out to the side and you don't carry the whole weight. So if you go to www.getcoverseal.com, then that would get them to the website, and they can see the full line of covers that we've deployed.
And you have our permission to go ahead and post this video of the In Wheel Time interview.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I've been on the website, and I was rolling that through the website for the cars, the trucks. They do things for your patio furniture covers. They do things for your barbecue equipment, your smokers and things. They've got covers for that as well. Your tractor, your lawn tractor, Don, you can get a cover for that as well.
Can I come out there and sleep on the floor at your place?
I actually got a 6,000 square foot garage, so you're more than welcome.
There you go.
You're sleeping under a cover, Don.
No, that's right. Put me in one of those covers.
But we posted that, or I showed that while you're talking. So there's a lot of other things besides just the car cover that they do.
Ken, it's great talking to you. Thanks so much. It's a real pleasure, and thanks for the CoverSeal car cover.
Yeah, pleasure, gentlemen, and thank you a lot for your interest.
Yeah, and stay in touch with us here.
Yeah, we want to hear about some more new stuff. Some more cool new stuff.
All right, very good. Thanks again. Ken Heuning, CoverSeal Car Covers. Hey, you and your friends can get this award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcast from your favorite podcast provider. In-Wheel Time Car Talk show will continue right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV.
But we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're nearing the end of this show for this week, but we'll be back again next week.
Okay.
Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Well,
we got us a little hurricane
there
maybe
you go.
coming this way, but it's going to blow into here and blow out of here in no time.
Let's
flat.
hope. Let's hope.
Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Yeah, it was today's tire day. So we're going to talk about, and Don mentioned earlier during the segment about air loss and things and TPMS. Well, your tire actually loses air through the rubber because rubber is actually, it's like cooked spaghetti, but it's clumped together, the rubber strands, and it flexes. So there's air that gets in between those flecks of those rubber strands, and it actually depletes the
Leaks down
air.
a little bit.
It leaks down a little bit, and your tire actually rolls about 800 times per mile as it goes around and round and round to get you there. But they're microscopic gaps, and it's called permeation. So the permeation of air through the rubber comes out, and you lose air. So over a period of 3 months, so you don't check them, you could lose a couple, 3 pounds of air pressure. So you get your tires checked, look at them, give them a visual while you're getting gas. If you're walking through the parking lot, take a look at your tires, because I look at my tires, I look at other people's tires. So
You stop looking at my tires.
air is 70% nitrogen, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 1% argon, and then there's other traces of gases like chili and onions and things. So there's other stuff like that. But it also degrades because of heat. Heat and cold will also make you lose air pressure as well. So check your tires. It's a good thing. You got hot concrete. You're going on vacation. Check your tires.
I had, and it's still over there, an old analog tire pressure gauge, a round one.
Oh, yeah.
That did a wonderful job for, 20, 30 years. Well, it finally bit the dust. It wouldn't seal up against the actual valve stem anymore.
Yeah.
And it gave me false readings. So I would go online, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to get a digital gauge. I found one. What is that tire gauge company? They've been around for a bajillion years. They have really a nice one that looks kind of like a gun.
Yeah.
And you stick it on there, and it automatically knows that it's got a new reading now, and it tells you by the point pounds digitally, and it's also got a light on there. And then you take it off. That figure stays on there until you check the next one.
Yeah.
And so I go around each one, and it is spot on.
Good.
I was
Wow.
always leery about those digital gauges.
Yeah.
How do they do that? That's not right.
It operates with a little, AAA battery?
I think so, yeah.
But just, they do.
And it'll tell you when it's out.
Yeah, low battery. But get your tires checked.
Yeah, or check them yourself. Mm-hmm. Couple of stories making automotive news headlines. The financing arms of Nissan and Hyundai have judgments against a guy by the name of Antonio Pierce. He is the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders.
What?
And the judgment is totaling nearly $28 million in connection to his partial ownership of a dealership group that collapsed in 2018. This is from Automotive News. Pierce's wife, Jocelyn Pierce, cited those liabilities in filing for bankruptcy protection in June, saying she was trying to protect her assets and those of the marital community. According to documents obtained by The Athletic, Nissan Motor Acceptance Corporation, which holds a $23 million judgment against Antonio Pierce, and Hyundai Capital America, which says it's owed $4.5 million, have attempted to garnish the former NFL linebacker's paychecks from the Raiders, according to the bankruptcy filing. Pierce, who had a 9-year playing career in the Washington Redskins and New York Giants, became the Raiders' interim coach in October when the team fired Josh McDaniels and got the job full-time in January. Terms of Pierce's contract haven't been made public, but guess what? All of your paycheck and more is fixing to go bye-bye.
Yep. What do they call it?
Customer
Garnishment.
loyalty to hybrid vehicles reached a record high in the first quarter as demand for electric vehicles continued to wane. Not that they're not selling them, they're just not selling them at the quick a pace as they thought they would. 42% of hybrid owners who returned to the market in the first quarter purchased another conventional or plug-in hybrid, according to S&P Global Mobility. It marks the 7th consecutive quarter that hybrid loyalty has increased. While hybrid consumers keep coming back, EV buyers are looking elsewhere. More than 40% of U.S. EV owners said they want to go back to internal combustion engines, gasoline-powered vehicles, according to a McKinsey study. Inadequate public charging infrastructure was a primary reason. Hello, I've been there, done that, 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's. You lose faith in something, it's really hard to get it back.
Yeah.
This fall, Rolls-Royce is unveiling an exclusive design studio in New York City called Private Office.
Uh-oh.
It's first in the U.S. to offer high-touch service for bougie customers who commission multi-million-dollar builds. The expansion is Rolls-Royce's effort to turbocharge its bespoke business that enables customers to transform series production models into individual statements. With striking paint jobs, hand-perforated leather upholstery, olive ash burl exotic wood veneers, even an inlaid fiber optic lit headliner that bathes the interior in twinkling starlight.
I like being bathed with starlight.
Twinkling starlight.
I just like being bathed.
In the misty moonlight, you would. You're familiar with baths, aren't you,
Go
Morris?
down to the creek.
Yeah.
You just jump in the creek. The creeks are arising pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, so hurricane coming.
Well,
Go and get your supplies today or tomorrow if you want to put it off. I'm going to go this afternoon and get the fridge stocked. Hopefully the electricity will stay on.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be that bad here, but
I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking it's going to be.
Well,
we're
once
going to
it-
get some wind and rain, and I'm sure there's going to be tree limbs down and fences down in
And
some
some
of the
electricity,
neighborhoods. Yeah, that's all going to happen, but it's not going to be. Hopefully, there will be lives spared.
We're going to be back. Say goodbye to you right after this.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com. Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check out our website, inwheeltime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff. We'll keep you connected to all things automotive all week long. Send your vacation postcards and hate mail to us through the interweb. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. And if they're really good, we'll read them next Saturday.
Hey.
Absolutely.
When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app, Daily 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InRealTime.com every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Real Time video technical director, wise guy, and user of the Ron Popeil's GLH spray-on hair is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, Chief Engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us next week here on the In Real Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, July 13th, 8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Real Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you then. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.